He was never the upgrade she imagined. I felt something inside me go still the moment she said, "I'm leaving, Mark. I deserve happiness." No shouting, no slammed door, just a soft click as she stepped out, like she'd already drifted out of our life long before she packed her bags. That first night didn't feel like time passing. I paced, sat, stood up again, lay down, then stared at the empty side of the bed as if it were taunting me. Mornings were worse. I kept expecting to hear her walking around, humming, opening drawers, smelling her shampoo in the air. Instead, all I had was silence, thick and suffocating. I'd sit on the edge of the mattress, rubbing my hands over my face, convincing myself not to call her. But underneath it all, I missed her in a way that frightened me. By day 3, the house felt haunted, not by ghosts but by memories. Every photo hit like a gut punch. Everything she left behind felt like proof I wasn't enough to make her stay. And the hardest truth, she hadn't left because her love faded. She left because she'd stepped into something with someone else. A man whose name made my stomach twist. On the 5th day, my phone buzzed with a message from him. "Hope we can all handle this like adults." My hands shook. Adults. He wrecked my marriage like it was a hobby and wanted calm and maturity afterward. I said nothing. I couldn't. Grief and fury don't mix well with politeness. By the end of the week, people began offering the usual comfort lines. Asterisk, you'll move on. She wasn't right for you. Time heals. Asterisk. None of it helped. Time didn't heal. It only stretched the pain thinner longer. Then came the call that shifted everything. A trembling woman's voice asked, "Is this Mark?" I said yes. "I'm Emily," she whispered. "His wife." My chest tightened. The man my wife left me for had a wife of his own. And she was crying deep, broken sobs. "I didn't know about your wife," she said. "I only found out after he walked out tonight." "He left you?" I asked. "For someone else," she choked, "or several someone else's." I froze. "Other." She let out a shaking breath. "3 that I know of." In that moment, something in me cleared, like fog lifting. The pain didn't vanish, but it changed. It stopped crushing me and started revealing the truth. The next day, she sent me screenshots, messages, plans, lies. The same lines he told my wife, recycled again and again. My heartbreak cooled into clarity. My marriage didn't collapse because I wasn't enough. It collapsed because she was pulled into a web spun by a man who didn't care about anyone but himself. 2 days later, my ex-wife showed up at my door looking worn out, devastated rather than defensive. "Mark," she murmured. "Can we talk?" I let her in. She sat nervously, twisting her hands. "He left me," she said. "For someone else. For others." Tears filled her eyes. "I thought he loved me. I was wrong." I didn't gloat. I didn't get angry. I just listened. She told me how he pressured her, made her feel noticed, convinced her our marriage was supposedly holding her back. "I was foolish," she whispered. "I threw away everything for an illusion." I finally asked the question that had eaten at me for weeks. Why wasn't I enough? She broke completely. "You were enough," she cried. "I just wasn't grounded. He made me feel special until he didn't." Her remorse was real, heavy. But regret can't undo the damage. When she reached for my hand, I quietly shifted away. "I forgive you," I said gently. "But forgiveness isn't the same as going back." She wept harder. "Is there anything left between us?" "There's respect," I said. "There's our history. But love, that died the day you walked out." She left the same way she had before, quietly. But this time, I wasn't the one falling apart. The next morning felt different. Not healed, not whole, but lighter, like taking the first deep breath after being underwater too long. I made coffee, opened the curtains, and realized something important. What I lived through wasn't the end of me. It was the start of waking up. She broke my heart. But the truth about the man she ran to showed me something even stronger. I didn't lose her. She lost someone who would have never betrayed her. And in the ruins of what I thought my life should be, I finally began finding who I was meant to become.